WWE is still open to a CM Punk return, but first, the latest All Elite Wrestling signing has been confirmed. On last week's episode of AEW Dynamite, Ric Flair would make his All Elite Wrestling debut as a gift from Tony Khan to the retiring Sting, with the two men having a storied history with each other. This led to reports that Flair will be sticking around in AEW until at least March 2024, although it looks like he'll be in the company for even longer. Last night, All Elite Wrestling would confirm via an official statement that the Nature Boy has signed a brand new multi-year contract that will see Flair's Woo energy drink become the exclusive energy drink of AEW. This means the drink will be available at concession stands at events, as well as being available for talent backstage, as well as on the announcer's desk. According to Fightful Select, the energy drink side of the deal is very similar to what we saw with Randy Savage and WCW back in the 90s, where part of signing Flair was securing a deal with the energy drink that will cover a significant portion, if not all, of his salary. Ric Flair himself has since confirmed on Wrestling Observer Radio that the deal is 2 years in length, meaning it will run until the end of 2025. In a separate interview with Mike Johnson of PW Insider, Flair would be asked if he plans on wrestling again at the age of 76. This after he recently told Chris Van Vliet that he wants one more match, with an AEW match being something that he refuses to rule out, and he would respond, "No, I don't think I will. If you're asking me if I want to, I have to be careful what I say because it never comes out the right way. I just made it very clear to everybody that I can take bumps. I have a doctor's release to do anything I want like that. Do I think I'll wrestle again? No, I'm never going to say no." But what do you make of AEW's newest signing, and do you think we'll see Ric Flair walk that aisle for one more match? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, a former champion has been added to the WWE roster. In July 2020, Kairi Sane would exit WWE in order to return to Japan during the pandemic, which led to her return to Stardom and her debut in New Japan Pro-Wrestling, where she went on to hold the Artist of Stardom title, as well as becoming the first ever IWGP Women's Champion. In March 2023, Kairi would then confirm that she's once again a free agent following the expiration of her Bushiroad contract, with it being reported in August that she'd signed a deal with WWE to make a return to the company, although she would continue to work Stardom and other Japanese dates, most recently on October 9th. With that said, it looks like there's been some progression towards her WWE return, as according to a report from WrestleVotes on X, Kairi has been re-added to the company's internal roster, and they would note, "After what feels like months of speculation, I'm told Kairi Sane has reappeared on the internal talent roster. Her return to the company is imminent." Whilst they would initially deny the report's truth at first, PW Insider has since backed up its legitimacy, and they would write, "Kairi Sane was added to the WWE roster internally today, sometime after 2 p.m. this afternoon. PWInsider.com can now confirm. There were rumors earlier today that Sane had been added, but PW Insider was told at the time that was not correct. The same sources later informed us Sane was added to the roster this afternoon, but has not yet been assigned to a brand." As the report mentions, there's still no word on which show Kairi will land on upon her comeback to WWE, or even when she will be back on screens, although she did recently take to social media to post a photograph of her passport inside an airport, a sign that she may already be on American soil pending her arrival. Next up, the options are open for this top free agent. Former Impact World Champion Sami Callihan would hit the free agency market at the end of September following the expiration of his Impact contract. This after the two sides were unable to agree terms on a brand new deal. Since then, Fightful Select have reported that his former tag team partner Jon Moxley was pushing for AEW to sign him, whilst WWE's Karrion Kross has gone public with his desire to have Callihan join WWE instead. Speaking on Busted Open Radio last night, Sami would discuss his current status as a free agent, with him open to all options in the current wrestling landscape, and when asked where he sees himself next, he would say, It's anywhere. I'm not going to pick just one because it's anywhere. I can be plugged in at AEW. I have relationships and written storylines with almost everyone in that company and have good relationships with almost everyone at that company. What AEW is doing is different than anyone else, and that's a great place. You look at WWE, I feel like a guy that can be plugged in backstage extremely easily and have a lot of well-being with what I can do. I look at MLW, I already at one point have been an agent there when they did the relaunch and had a good relationship there. I can go back to New Japan, my options are pretty vast, it's just determining the best timing and what's going to be the best. But which top promotion do you see Sami Callihan landing in next? Will it be WWE, AEW, or somewhere else entirely? Let me know in the comments down below. And next, a former WWE champion is set to battle against current AEW stars. SummerSlam 2023 would be the home of Ronda Rousey's last WWE match of her recent contract, with her taking up the option to walk away from the company for now. This then led to teases on social media that she would retire from in-ring action, this before later appearing at a Lucha Vavoom show in Los Angeles as the surprise partner of Marina Shafir. After defeating Taya Valkyrie and Brian Kendrick on the night, Rowdy would later be announced for an upcoming Wrestling Revolver show, again in LA. Well, we now have more information about the match, as since then, Revolver revealed the details of Ronda's next bout. And last week, the promotion would take to social media to confirm that Rousey will once again be teaming up with former MMA training partner Marina Shafir in tag team action. Then last night, the company revealed that the duo will be taking on two current AEW wrestlers, Billy Starks and ROH Women's World Champion Athena, this on November 16th. Athena and Ronda have a history together off screens, as it was the current ROH champ that helped Rousey train for her Royal Rumble 2022 return last year, which seemingly formed a friendship between the two that will now come to a head later this month. Next up, will TNA Wrestling be bringing back the six-sided ring? From 2004 till 2018, TNA and Impact Wrestling would introduce the six-sided ring to America, this something popularized in Mexico. This is a way to make themselves stand out from WWE and other competition. With that said, wrestlers that have worked inside the unique ring have been critical of its structural differences, with it said to have a harder surface than the traditional four-sided rings, whilst also being more difficult to navigate the ropes and corners. Following the recent announcement that Impact will be rebranding back to TNA in 2024, one question on the lips of fans was if the company will be bringing back the six-sided ring, although it looks like this isn't on the cards. Speaking with PW Mania this week, Impact President Scott D'Amore would confirm reports that there's no plans for the ring's return, adding that it's due to talent safety, and he would state, "Frankly, no. It's the first question that comes up and the first thing I tried to address in our press pass recently. I know that people love the six side. I was in the room when we made the decision to go six sides, and I mean, it's got a little place in my heart because it was one of the things that set us apart. But at the end of the day, just about every single talent that's ever wrestled in it says that it was much harder to wrestle in, was more dangerous, not just injury, but even more so just daily wear and tear. It was harder on their bodies, so I will not apologize for putting talent's health and safety first." Whilst others have been critical of its design, there have been important TNA names that have backed the six sides, such as Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, with both revealing in the past that they grew to love it. It'll be interesting to see if the decision is a permanent one, or if TNA can somehow redesign the six-sided structure to make it safer to land on, although it's clear that this isn't something that's a priority. And next, WWE is still open to a CM Punk return. The future of CM Punk has been a topic of discussion ever since his All Elite Wrestling contract termination in September, with fan speculation putting him down for a WWE return at Survivor Series in Chicago, with some feeling he could be heading to TNA Wrestling, whilst others have him as the lead candidate to be the one under the devil mask in AEW, which would be a huge swerve to say the least. The reality is that nobody knows what's next for Punk at this point, although we know that WWE is seemingly off the table, at least for now. Fightful Select, who recently revealed that Punk is not in talks over a return to the company at this point, have provided some more information on the internal feeling towards the potential signing, with their latest report covering preparation for the recent Fastlane press conference and the possibility of questions regarding the Second City Saint. And Fightful would note, Triple H and a number of superstars were prepared to answer, and some stars were prepped on it. Fightful Select was told that many in WWE were surprised that they weren't asked about Punk, but that the line internally on him would have been very similar to what WWE higher-ups told us on October 10, that there's no remaining ill will between the two sides, and the possibility is always there, but that Punk wasn't signed, that negotiations weren't ongoing, and that he wasn't planned for the show as of then, and that fans shouldn't buy tickets with the expectation of seeing him. The report adds that Triple H in particular was expecting to answer questions about Punk and had planned a response accordingly. Fightful were able to confirm as early as this past Monday that as of now, Punk to WWE is still a firm no, which of course rules him out of the running for a Survivor Series return in Chicago as it stands. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 shocking Roman Reigns facts that WWE wants you to forget.